The creation of the world, God's power and design in the beginning. There was nothing. No light, no sound, no sky. The world was a silent emptiness, dark, cold, and still. It was like the whole universe was holding its breath, waiting for something to happen. Then suddenly, a voice broke the silence, a voice full of power and authority. It was the voice of God. Let there be light. And in that moment, light exploded into the darkness. The emptiness was filled with brightness, shadows fled, the first sunrise began. God smiled and said, "It is good," but the light had no place to rest. So God spoke again, "Let the waters gather together, and let dry ground appear." The waters obeyed, running to their borders. Mountains lifted their heads, rivers began to flow, and the earth stood firm beneath God's hand. The land was quiet and bare, so God whispered again, "Let the ground produce grass, plants, and trees of every kind." Instantly, the soil came alive. Green covered the earth, flowers opened their colorful faces to the sun. Fruits of all shapes and colors hung from the branches, the air smelled sweet and fresh. Life had begun to sing, but the sky above was empty. So God said, "Let there be lights in the sky to mark the day and the night," and there appeared the blazing sun to rule the day, the soft moon to guard the night, and countless stars scattered like diamonds across the heavens, each star shining with purpose, each one known by name. The earth now looked alive, but it was still too quiet. So God said, "Let the waters be filled with living creatures, and let birds fly in the sky." And suddenly, the seas began to move with life. Whales sang, fish danced, and colorful creatures filled the waters. Birds rose into the sky, spreading their wings, singing their first songs of freedom. God smiled, but his heart knew something was still missing. The world was full of life, but it had no one to care for it, no one to share his love. So God reached down and took dust from the earth. He shaped it carefully, forming a man with his own hands. But the man did not move. He was silent, still. Then God leaned close and breathed into him. The man's eyes opened, his heart began to beat. His lungs filled with air. He stood and saw the beauty around him, the light, the water, the trees, and he knew he was not alone. God loved what he made, but he said, "It is not good for man to be alone." So while the man slept, God took part of him and created woman. When the man awoke and saw her, his face lit up with joy. They smiled at each other beneath the soft glow of the sunset. God looked at everything he had made, the shining sun, the blue oceans, the birds in the sky, the man and woman hand in hand, and he said, "It is very good." And as night fell, the stars shimmered like a promise that everything God made had purpose, design, and love behind it. Moral lesson: everything in creation has meaning. We are not accidents. God designed every detail with love, beauty, and purpose. Even in darkness, his voice can bring light.